There is a civil war happening inside of you. Your rational mind knows the truth. It knows you deserve to rest. It knows you have a right to your own opinion. It knows that setting a boundary is healthy. But your body tells a different story. The moment you think of choosing yourself, it happens. A tightness in the chest, a knot of acid in the stomach, and an overwhelming, crushing wave of guilt that screams one terrifying message: you are a bad person. Why does your body betray your mind? Why does this guilt feel so visceral, so absolute, as if it were a biological fact? The answer is because, in a way, it is. This is not a moral failing. It is a neurological program, a deeply embedded survival strategy called the Fawn Response. As Carl Jung taught, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. Today, we make this unconscious bodily response conscious. We will explore the biology of why this guilt feels so real, and we will learn to send our own nervous system a new message of safety. This is the work of ending that inner war. If you are ready to call a truce with yourself, I invite you to declare it. Write in the comments below, "My body deserves to feel safe."
To end this inner war, we must first understand the battlefield. And the battlefield is your nervous system. For most of our lives, we've heard about fight or flight. When faced with a threat, like a tiger in the wild, your body prepares to either fight it or run from it. Your heart pounds, your muscles tense, adrenaline floods your system. This is your sympathetic nervous system kicking into high gear. It's the body's accelerator. But what happens when fighting isn't an option? What if running isn't an option? What if, as a child, the perceived threat was your own caregiver, a person you depended on for your very survival? You cannot fight them. You cannot run from them. So the brilliant, primitive wisdom of your body develops other strategies. One is to freeze, to play dead, to become invisible. And another, the one we are here to talk about today, is to fawn. The fawn response is a neurological strategy of appeasement. It is the instinct to disarm the threat by becoming pleasing, helpful, and agreeable. It's the impulse to merge with the desires of the other person to ensure your own safety. The subconscious calculation is simple. If I can make you happy, you won't hurt me. This isn't a conscious choice. It is an automatic, biological reflex, governed by a remarkable part of your body, the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is the longest cranial nerve in your body. It wanders from your brainstem all the way down into your abdomen, connecting to your heart, your lungs, your gut. It is the superhighway of communication between your brain and your body. And it is the primary commander of your parasympathetic nervous system, the body's braking system. Think of your nervous system as a traffic light. The green light is when you feel safe, connected, and social. Your vagus nerve is working optimally. You can be your authentic self. The yellow light is the fight or flight response. The accelerator is on. You are mobilized for danger. The red light is the freeze response. The emergency brake is pulled. You shut down. The fawn response is a complex dance between the yellow light and the green light. It's a state of high alert disguised as social connection. You are scanning for threats, anticipating needs, managing the emotional environment, all while trying to appear calm, friendly, and helpful on the surface. Your body is flooded with stress hormones, but your behavior is one of agreeableness. It is an incredibly energy-intensive state to live in. It is the definition of walking on eggshells. Let's go back to our friend Jennifer, the nurse. As a child, when she learned to anticipate her father's volatile moods, her nervous system was learning a specific pattern. The presence of her father became a trigger. Her nervous system would shift into a state of high alert, the yellow light. But because she couldn't fight or flee, she activated the Fawn Response. She would appease. She would please. She would make herself useful. When this worked, when her father's mood was stabilized, her nervous system got a hit of relief. It felt like it had returned to the green light of safety. Over time, this loop becomes deeply grooved into the nervous system. Appeasement equals safety. This becomes the body's default program for dealing with any perceived interpersonal threat. Now, as a 42-year-old adult, when her coworker asks for a favor, her nervous system doesn't see a tired colleague. It detects a potential for someone else's displeasure. And for her nervous system, which is still running the old childhood software, displeasure equals danger. The old alarm bells go off. The yellow light flickers on. The Fawn Response is automatically triggered. And the guilt she feels when she even thinks of saying no? That is the biological alarm system screaming at her. It's her body's primitive brain saying, "Warning! Warning! You are about to break the rule that has kept you safe your entire life. You are about to risk disapproval, which in our memory is a life-threatening event. Stop what you're doing." This is why the guilt feels so powerful, so non-negotiable. It's not just a feeling. It's a somatic alarm. It's a biological imperative that is overriding your logical adult mind. It is the echo of a brilliant survival strategy that has outlived its usefulness. It's a ghost in the machine. This understanding right here is the beginning of compassion for yourself. You are not weak. You are not a failure. You are a survivor. Your body learned to do this to protect you. It has been working tirelessly for decades to keep you safe based on an old map of the world. And our work, as conscious adults, is not to get angry at the system. Our work is to gently and lovingly give it an updated map. To show it, through new experiences, that the world has changed, that disapproval is no longer a tiger, that you are safe now, and that the very thing your body fears, being your authentic self, is actually the only path to true safety and peace. Let's just pause and take that in. I want you to place a hand on your heart or on your stomach, wherever you tend to feel that guilt. And I want you to just silently acknowledge that part of you. No need to change it. No need to fix it. Just a quiet, internal whisper. I see you. I know you are trying to protect me. Thank you. This is the first step in making friends with your own nervous system. This is how the truce begins.
That small act of acknowledgement you just did, placing your hand on your body and whispering, "Thank you," that is the essence of this work. It is somatic. It is embodied. It is a new kind of conversation. You cannot reason with a nervous system that is in a state of threat. You cannot logic your way to a feeling of safety. You must speak the language the body understands, the language of sensation, the language of breath, the language of presence. Our goal is not to eliminate the Fawn Response. It is a part of our survival toolkit. Our goal is to increase our capacity to stay in the green light zone, the zone of safety and social connection governed by the ventral part of our vagus nerve. The more we can consciously activate this state, the less likely our system is to automatically jump into the yellow light of fight, flight, or fawn. We are essentially building a stronger foundation of internal safety. From this foundation, authentic choices can be made, not from a place of fear, but from a place of groundedness. Today, I want to teach you 2 simple, yet profoundly effective, somatic exercises to begin this process. Think of these not as chores, but as acts of self-reparenting. You are giving your inner child the experience of safety it may have never had. The first exercise we have touched on before, but it is so fundamental it bears repeating and deepening. It is the somatic sigh. We discussed how the double inhale and long, slow exhale is a biological reset button. But let's add another layer to it. As you do it, I want you to bring your awareness to the physical sensations. When you take that double inhale, feel the expansion in your ribcage. Feel your lungs filling completely. And as you let out that long, slow, audible sigh, I want you to feel the release. Feel your shoulders drop away from your ears. Feel the muscles in your jaw soften. Feel the tension in your stomach unclench just a little. Let's do 3 of them together right now. Find a comfortable position, and let's begin. Inhale, and again. Pause for inhale, and let it go with a sigh. Ha. Pause for exhale. Feel your body. Again, inhale, and a little more. Pause for inhale, and a long, slow release. Ha. Pause for exhale. Notice any change, any softening. One last time, deepest breath yet. Inhale and top it off. Pause for inhale, and let it all go. Ha. Pause for exhale. This practice, done consistently throughout your day, is like sending little text messages of safety to your nervous system. You are actively toning your vagus nerve. You are teaching your body, through direct experience, that it is possible to move from a state of tension to a state of release, all on your own. This builds what is called self-regulation, the ability to soothe your own system. This is a superpower. For someone who has spent a lifetime outsourcing their sense of safety to the moods of others, learning to create that safety within is the ultimate act of liberation. The second exercise is a powerful grounding technique. When the guilt hits, when the fawn response is triggered, our energy tends to shoot up into our heads. We get lost in frantic, anxious thoughts. What will they think? Did I do the right thing? I should have just said yes. Grounding brings your awareness back down, out of the story in your head and into the reality of your body and your environment. It reminds your primitive brain that you are physically here, now, and you are safe. Here is how we do it. You can do this sitting or standing. Right now, I invite you to feel your feet on the floor. Really feel them. Notice the texture of your socks or the coolness of the floor against your skin. Press your feet down just a little. Feel the solidness of the earth beneath you. The earth is holding you. It has you. You are supported. Now bring your awareness to your sense of touch. Notice the feeling of your clothes against your skin. Reach out and touch something near you. A table, a cup, your own leg. Notice its texture, its temperature. Just be with that sensation. Now, listen. What are 3 things you can hear right now? The hum of a computer? A bird outside? Your own breath? Just name them, silently, to yourself. And finally, look around. What are 3 things you can see? Notice their color, their shape. You are simply bringing your attention back to the present moment through your senses. What does this do? This sensory information bypasses the storytelling, anxious part of your brain and speaks directly to the brain stem, the most primitive part. The brain stem is not interested in your coworker's feelings. It is only interested in one question. Am I safe right now? The feeling of your feet on the ground, the texture of the table, the sound of a bird, all send a resounding yes. Yes, you are here. You are in this room. There is no tiger. The threat is not real. This practice can take 30 seconds, and it can be the difference between being hijacked by the guilt-fueled Fawn Response and staying present in your adult self. This is the work. It is not glamorous. It is not a dramatic, overnight transformation. It is the quiet, consistent, loving practice of befriending your own body. It is the work of what Jung might call reintegrating the body into the psyche. For too long, the people-pleaser has lived from the neck up, in a world of thoughts and worries and others' expectations. These somatic practices invite you back home, back into the wisdom, the truth, and the profound safety of your own physical being. You are learning to anchor yourself, not in the approval of others, but in the solid ground beneath your feet. As you begin to practice these somatic tools, the sigh, the grounding, you are not just managing symptoms. You are engaging in a profound dialogue. You are speaking directly to the most ancient, non-verbal parts of your brain. But there is another piece to this puzzle, a piece that lives in the realm of story, of meaning. This is where the wisdom of Carl Jung and the science of the nervous system beautifully intertwine. The Fawn Response, this biological pattern, creates a powerful story in our minds. A story that says, my authenticity is dangerous. My needs are a problem. My value is conditional. This story becomes a core part of our identity, our persona. We become the nice one, the easy one, the dependable one, and we hide all the other parts of ourselves, our anger, our desires, our tiredness, our no, in the shadow. The guilt you feel is the alarm system that protects this identity. It goes off whenever you threaten to step out of character, whenever your true self threatens to emerge and disrupt the story. It screams, go back, that's not who you are, you're supposed to be the good one. So how do we change the story? We cannot just decide to believe something new. We must give ourselves new experiences that prove the old story is false. This is why the somatic work is so crucial. Every time you use a grounding technique to calm yourself after considering your own needs, you are creating a new experience. You are proving to your body on a cellular level that you can have a need and still be safe. You are rewriting the biological narrative. Let's revisit Jennifer one last time.
She's at a staff meeting. Her manager asks for a volunteer to organize the holiday party, a task everyone knows is thankless and time-consuming. Jennifer feels the familiar pull, the impulse to raise her hand, to be the helpful one. She feels the heat rise in her chest, the knot in her stomach. The fawn response is activating. The guilt of a potential no is already present. But this time, she has her tools. She doesn't focus on the story in her head. She brings her awareness down into her body. She discreetly presses her feet into the floor, feeling the ground beneath her. That's one signal of safety. She takes a slow, silent breath, and on the exhale, she lets her shoulders drop. Another signal of safety. She is not trying to fight the guilt. She is simply anchoring herself in the present moment reality of her body. From this more grounded place, she can access her adult mind. She can remember her truth. She is overloaded, she needs to protect her time, and it is okay for someone else to step up. She stays silent. She does not volunteer. And in the silence, she feels the wave of guilt. It's still there. But it feels different. It's not an all-consuming tsunami. It's just a wave. And because she is grounded, she can let it wash over her without being swept away. She watches as another colleague, after a moment, reluctantly raises her hand. The meeting moves on. And the world does not end. Jennifer was not cast out. She was not shamed. In fact, no one seemed to notice at all. The tiger she had been running from her entire life was a paper tiger. This is a victory. Not a loud, dramatic one. A quiet one. Internal. And profoundly significant one. She had an opportunity to run the old program, the Fawn Response. She felt the biological urge, the guilt. She used her somatic tools to create a space of internal safety. And from that space, she made a new choice, a choice aligned with her authentic self. This is how you heal. One small, embodied choice at a time. You are building a new library of experiences for your nervous system. Each time you choose your own well-being and survive, you are adding a new book to that library. A book titled, I Rested and I Was Still Loved. A book called, I Stated My Opinion and I Was Still Safe. A book called, I Said No, and the relationship got stronger. Over time, your nervous system will start to trust this new library more than it trusts the single, old, dusty volume from your childhood. This is the journey of reclaiming yourself from the grip of biology. It is about honoring the fact that your body learned to fawn to protect you. And it is about loving yourself enough to teach your body that it no longer needs that specific protection in the same way. The guilt will lessen. The waves will become smaller. They may never disappear entirely, but they will no longer have the power to drown you. They will simply be echoes from an old story you no longer have to believe. Because you are busy writing a new one. A story where you are the main character. A story where your needs matter. A story where being yourself is not a source of guilt, but the ultimate source of your peace.
Today, we have journeyed into the very wiring of our own survival. We have demystified the guilt that has held so many of us hostage for so long. We now understand that the Fawn response is not a character flaw, but a brilliant biological strategy that simply has not been updated. The guilt you feel when you consider being yourself is not a moral truth. It is a neurological alarm, an echo of a past danger that no longer exists. It is a ghost in the machine of your nervous system, and you now have the tools to begin a new conversation with that system, not through force, but through tenderness. Through the somatic sigh, you are learning to manually dial down the anxiety and signal safety to your body. Through grounding, you are learning to anchor yourself in the present moment, proving to your primitive brain that there is no tiger in the room. This is the heart of embodied shadow work. It is not just about understanding the shadow in your mind. It is about learning to feel safe with it in your body. This is not a quick fix. It is a practice of devotion. A devotion to yourself. You are unlearning decades of conditioning. You are gently, patiently building a new foundation of internal safety, one conscious breath at a time. The goal is not to never feel guilt again. The goal is to no longer be ruled by it. To be able to feel it as a wave without letting it become the whole ocean. To be able to hear the alarm, thank it for its service, and then consciously choose the response that honors the adult you are today. You deserve to live a life that is not dictated by the ghosts of your past. You deserve to make choices from a place of authenticity and peace, not from a place of fear and obligation. Your nervous system can learn a new way. Your body can learn that it is finally safe to come home. As you continue this work, you may start to wonder, where did this fawn response, this need to please, actually come from? We know it's a survival strategy, but what kind of environment creates the need for such a strategy? Often, it is not the big, dramatic, capital T traumas that we typically think of. More often, it is the quiet, chronic, and often invisible wounds. The subtle but persistent experiences of emotional neglect or invalidation. The experience of having to earn love. These are the small t traumas, and they are the fertile ground in which the seeds of people-pleasing are sown. Understanding these hidden wounds is the next crucial step in our journey to reclaim ourselves. And that is the profound territory we will explore together in our next conversation. For this week, your invitation is to choose one somatic practice, just one. Either the somatic sigh or the grounding exercise. Commit to practicing it just once a day. Or commit to using it the next time you feel that familiar wave of guilt begin to rise. Your only goal is to notice what happens in your body. That is all. This simple act of noticing is a radical act of self-love. To anchor this commitment, I invite you to share in the comments below. Which practice will you choose this week? The sigh or the grounding? Let's declare our intention and walk this path together. Thank you for doing this deep, courageous work. Your peace is worth it.